On May 15, 2025, during the Ethiopia Finance Forum in Finfinne, Mamo E Mihretu presented an optimistic overview of the empire's ongoing economic reforms. The narrative was clear: Ethiopia is rising. Inflation is falling. Foreign currency is flowing. Financial systems are maturing. But the unspoken question echoes loudly across regions battered by war, displacement, and marginalization: whose economy is being reformed? Whose pain is being ignored in the numbers? This presentation offers a reality check, an exploration of the chasm between official claims and lived experiences, particularly in Oromia and Oromia's Amharic-speaking zonal areas such as Wollo, Gojjam, and Gondar. Claim 1: Inflation has dropped to its lowest in 50 years. Reality: while official urban statistics point to reduced inflation, in regions affected by conflict, inflation is neither measured nor managed. Prices for basic necessities, flour, oil, fuel, and fertilizers, have soared beyond reach. There are no consumer protection agencies, no stable markets, and no regulatory oversight where the state itself has become absent or adversarial. Claim 2: the black market for foreign currency has been eliminated. Reality: what has been eliminated is access to legal currency for millions outside Finfinne. In peripheral areas, especially in war-impacted districts and peripheries, the black market is not only active, it is essential for survival. Official bureaus are scarce, and informal forex traders remain the only lifeline for medical purchases, remittances, and business operations. Claim 3: foreign investment is booming. Exports have doubled. Reality: investment may be flowing into luxury hotels, telecom startups, and industrial parks near Finfinne. But in coffee-rich zones like Gojjam, trade has collapsed under conflict. Livestock markets in Gojjam have fractured under mobility restrictions. Border trade in Gondar is strangled by militarization. The productive spine of the country remains fractured, its export potential buried under debris. Claim 4: digital financial inclusion is transforming access. Reality: the concept of inclusion presupposes connection, peace, and trust. In vast stretches of rural Ethiopia, digital systems are inaccessible. Many lack phones, power, or bank agents. Digital identity systems like FATA are viewed with suspicion, especially in conflict zones where data may be weaponized. What is called inclusion risks becoming a sophisticated form of exclusion. Claim 5: the National Bank now operates independently with a focus on price stability. Reality: institutional independence requires legal protection and political insulation. Neither exists. The National Bank, though reorganized, remains aligned with the ruling party's macroeconomic choreography. In rural Ethiopia, there are no functional credit systems. Informal lenders thrive, charging rates that trap farmers in cycles of debt and despair. Claim 6: open market operations are working efficiently. Reality: such mechanisms presuppose functioning interbank networks. Yet, the majority of Ethiopians have never stepped inside a bank. The liquidity managed at the top circulates within a closed loop of elite institutions. For most, cash remains scarce. Markets remain vulnerable to shocks, not from fiscal policy, but from armed roadblocks, curfews, and supply disruption. Claim 7: government workers are now better compensated. Reality: across Oromia and beyond, teachers remain unpaid, clinics are understaffed, and civil servants are striking. Infrastructure projects have halted. Hospitals are looted or militarized. The public sector, once a fragile symbol of state presence, has deteriorated into silence or disappearance in conflict zones. Claim 8: social safety nets and subsidies are protecting the vulnerable. Reality: these supports are fragmented, politicized, or completely absent. In regions labeled oppositional, delivery of aid is limited or manipulated. Subsidies for fuel or fertilizer do not reach farmers whose villages are under siege. Social protection becomes a tool of coercion, not compassion. Claim 9: the reform is 100% homegrown. Reality: the structural pillars of the reform closely follow IMF and World Bank prescriptions. Though branded as Ethiopian-led, the key deliverables, currency liberalization, banking sector opening, monetary tightening, mirror international donor frameworks. These strategies are rarely debated in regional councils or local assemblies. Ownership without inclusion is just packaging. Claim 10: Ethiopia is becoming a model of financial progress for Africa. Reality: if models are judged by data alone, perhaps. But a model must be lived, not just admired. In Ethiopian Empire today, financial institutions advance, but civic space contracts. GDP grows, but graves multiply in the countryside. Foreign reserves climb, while children in displaced camps go hungry. Without justice, peace, and equal inclusion, no economic model is complete. Closing reflection: what unfolds in Finfinne's boardrooms cannot be divorced from what burns in Oromia's forests. Economic reform is not an abstract success, it is a human promise. And a promise betrayed becomes an injustice institutionalized. Society cannot bank its way out of a legitimacy crisis. It cannot digitize its way out of war. It cannot privatize its way out of repression. True reform is not measured in spreadsheets, but in bread, in dignity, in peace. To those watching from afar, question the numbers. Interrogate the narratives. Remember that silence in official reports does not mean peace on the ground. Subscribe. Share. Be informed. And never accept numbers without names. This has been a response, not from a party or movement, but from reality itself.